Oh man, I really wish I could get into TF2 trading. It's just between work,
Back to work, shoe bitch.
the amount of time it takes to get started, and the crashing economy. I just don't see how I could possibly fund this or get into it while still making time for my hobbies.
I can help. So, you want to get into TF2 trading, but you've heard all the horror stories. From how tedious and boring it can be, how there are just sharks and scammers at every other corner trying to fuck you over, and of course, how expensive it all can be to get into. Like, if you wanted to go right into it and just start trading unusuals and that's it, you're gonna need like 20 keys out the gate, and that can ring you up like 35 to 40 bucks depending on where you get them. And let's be honest, only an absolute maniac would try doing a scrap to unusual challenge in this current year. But what if I told you you could potentially turn your hobbies and or skills into pure, uncut profit, letting you start from 0 keys to letting you work your way up to your dream unusual or cosmetics that you've always wanted without spending a single penny, or even without really doing all the hassle of trading? Well, some of the hassle, but I'll get into more in the future. But first, let me give you a little bit of context to how I found this little method I use. You see, back in the day when I first started getting into trading, like 2-3 years ago, I tried doing it like everyone else I see do it. I tried selling some of the old stuff I had that wasn't really worth much to me but was worth a few keys, and immediately tried to start getting on that grind. And I'm talking about really hitting that grind. I'm talking about working my way up trying to turn my peanuts into gold, dude. The Sigma mail grind set had nothing on me, dude. I was in it. I was in those trenches, those trade plaza servers, and it took months. I'm talking half a year of trading, deals going in, deals falling apart, and Steam's inventory system not fucking working half the time. And then one day I was there, sitting on about 100 keys of pure profit. All those deals, all those hours and hours and hours of nothing happening. I was enjoying the fruits of my labor. And then I looked around, thinking that I could buy pretty much anything I ever wanted. And I said to myself, this is boring. And then I sold all my keys on Steam and bought some games I wanted. I feel like it all just came crashing down at once. The realization that a majority of this exciting experience I was trying was just standing around and waiting for someone to make a trade with me. And most of the time, the trades wouldn't even go through. They would just fall apart. So I decided to step back and just take a couple months to rethink my trading strategies and see what was working and what didn't work with it. It's when I decided to finally come back that I realized something. I'm in a hardcore TF2 server with TF2 players that probably want to show off their unusuals and loadouts very commonly, even with their profile pictures. And I know Source Filmmaker. So, hey guys, I make Source Filmmaker posters and profile pictures for keys. Add me if you're interested. With those words, I was back, baby. And not only was I trading and getting my keys up without having to worry about too much risk, I was having fun doing it. I was enhancing my skills, learning a lot about Source Filmmaker by doing these posters, and it was fun. I had turned a hobby and a skill I developed into pure profit for a game I love. It was great. And it was actually rewarding with the skills I developed from trading, which was, you know, okay, but this felt something completely different. It was as if my hard work and everything I was doing was paying off faster and more efficiently than ever before. I was making my profit, buying everything I wanted in TF2 while learning and developing my skills in Source Filmmaker. It was the best. And that brings me to the topic of today's video. That's right, you can do this too. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can turn your hobbies and skills into a pure, uncut profit. Let's get into it. First, we should talk about supply and demand. And I'm assuming you're a little familiar with the basics of economics if you're a TF2 trader, but in case you're not, I'll go over them real quick. So supply and demand is what determines an item's price and value. For example, if there's an item that has very few buyers, but a lot of it, it's gonna have a very low price. But if an item is rare and it's hard to get and there's a lot of people that want it, it'll have a very high price. And for you to succeed in this, you have to understand what skills are in demand for TF2 traders. And the two major skills that are in demand for TF2 is artist and video editors. Sorry, welders, there's no room for you here. I think artists are a pretty self-explanation of what they're popular for. People want to show off their favorite TF2 loadouts. whether that be with 3D models, traditional art, or digital, or even pixel art. They just want something really nice to be like, yeah, that's my guy looking awesome, I love it. Or it's more likely they just want a really funny meme made, and you can supply that. Now, you're probably sitting there thinking, but Boxy, I have no talents, I have no education, and I'm missing my left eye. How do I do anything without being a complete fuck up?
I didn't say that.
Well, the easiest way to get started is to just get started. Start practicing with doodles, and once you think you're at a decent place, hop on. Or, practice with Source Filmmaker to make your own posters of your guys for reference images. Just remember, if you're a new artist or poser in Source Filmmaker or anything like that, you gotta set your prices kinda low because your skills aren't gonna be there quite yet. Like me, for example, when I first started out, I only charged 1 key for a poster. And granted, that was pretty fair because those posters used to be dog shit like a year ago. But now, I just charge about 5 keys per poster, and it works. I even have returning customers. But you gotta remember, everything's a little different. It's a lot easier to make a poster in Source Filmmaker than it is to draw it, so you gotta fluctuate your prices to those skills. As for video editors, well, you gotta remember, TF2 still has a lot of up-and-coming YouTubers that try to get a piece of that action. And I won't lie, it is extremely more rare that you'll have someone commission you to edit, but I honestly just believe that's because not many people advertise it. I see a lot of up-and-coming TF2 YouTubers in trade servers trying to get stuff for their content. And it makes sense that they could probably use a little editor for a short here and there to help it make it a little easier on them. So why not try advertising that? Now, in your head, you're probably also thinking, well, Boxy, where do I find these clients? Where do I find people that will want to commission me? Trade servers. I know a lot of other YouTubers have said like, oh, don't go to trade servers, they'll waste your time. But it's here you're going to find a massive amount of your clientele. I'd recommend going to popular servers or even just unusual trade servers once you get a few keys in your pocket. So that way, you don't get in trouble and get banned for having too low of an inventory. Because after all, it's usually the unusual traders that really want to show off their loadout. And a good chunk of the time, they'll just have the extra keys lying around collecting dust and they want to use it for something. So making art for them? Why, I think that's the best deal I've ever had. Plus, from my experience, most unusual traders, they're pretty chill people that will help you, talk to you, and help you get the ropes in if you're still completely new to trading. Just, be on the lookout for the occasional shark, liar, bot that'll add you once you get your inventory up. Just use your common sense and be on the lookout and you'll be fine. Now, you got the skills, you know how to do it, so how does this actually work in practice? Well, it's simple. Just advertise it. Either with your mic or in chat, and just tell people to add you, show them their reference images, your prices, and that's it. One thing I can recommend is, if you're doing art, put one of your reference pictures as your spray and spray it on. Of course, then you do run the risk of seeing TF2 sprays, which is like Russian roulette with bullets that are made of hell. And do keep in mind that this isn't going to be an instant process. You're still going to hop on once in a while and not get any deals or any commissions, but that's okay, because even if you only get like 1 or 2 commissions a week, that's pretty much the same amount of trades people start off getting when they're doing low tier trading anyway, so you're already on the right track. I do highly recommend, do not just sit there for hours and hours and hours in a server advertising your art. I recommend just hop on a couple hours after work, advertise for like 20 minutes, and if you get a commission, that's great and you can work on it in your free time. If not, well, just hop on one more time before bed and then you can work on it the next day. The best part about advertising your skills or hobbies is that you don't have to worry about it going down in value the next day. It will always be worth what you feel like it's worth. If your art's worth 3 keys, then hey, someone will pay 3 keys for that art some other day. You are free from the shackles that are buy orders and sell orders. Hallelujah! And it's also more fun working on stuff than it is just, sitting around, looking at a screen, hoping for an interaction. And now, after a good little few months of hard work, practice, and negotiating and figuring out your prices, you got a steady income of keys every other week. And if you really wanted to, you can stop it now. You can stop using your hobbies and just focus on unusual trading, and just focus 100% on that. And to prove I'm not full of shit, check this out. This is an unusual Rebel Rouser and Cold Snap coat I bought specifically by using my SFM art. I used no trading, I just used my negotiations and advertising, and boom! In like 4 days, I was able to get this masterpiece of a low class. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and start getting your talent and your hobbies. Turn your passion into profit. Just remember, once you start getting enough and it becomes more consistent, it will get a little mundane. Just remember to save your keys and be smart with your investments with them. And remember, just don't do the, what are you looking at? Oh, Oh no. Hey guys, thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video and look forward to more of my content, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, as I've put in a lot of effort into this video and I got a few more ideas down the line that I want to try and make more of. So yeah, thank you for watching and enjoy your day. Peace.